Shalawam, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered across the four corners of the earth. This is your brother Khalak out of the Great Millstone Atlanta camp, coming to you again with another Lord willing edifying video. In this video, we are going to be dealing with the fear of the Lord. Having the fear of the Lord is the most important thing a man could have. Starting off here in Proverbs chapter 9 and 10, it says, "The fear of the Lord Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased." So here it's saying that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. You have many people roaming the earth today that profess to be wise, but if they don't fear the Lord, they are really not wise. Verse 11 says, "For by me thy days shall be multiplied." Going into how the fear of the Lord ultimately leads to prosperity, because the Lord created this life and this reality that we live in, and the law, statutes, and commandments are the cheat code for how to live on earth. These law, statutes, and commandments were only given to the Israelites, which consist of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as you Israelite foreigners that may look like the other nations, but according to the seed of your forefathers, you trace back to Jacob. The Lord gave his righteous way to the nation of Israel and Israel only. That is what sanctifies or sets apart Israel from the other nations. The Lord told the Israelites to keep his law, statutes, and commandments, lest a curse falls upon us. As our forefathers, we transgressed that way, and lo and behold, we were sent into captivity, as we are still to this day. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 45 and 5. It says, "I am the Lord Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am the Lord Yahweh, and there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things." And this is why we should fear the Lord. He is all powerful, and he was able to make this all come into existence. Therefore, he can do whatever he wants with his creation. Understanding that should make you fear the Lord, because he could have his way with you and no one could do anything about it. Like Job, even as a righteous individual, the Lord could torture you and no one could do anything about it. Coming to terms with that is what it means to be meek. This is the book of Romans chapter 9 and 20. "Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, Why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?" Again, going into how the Lord is in control of everything and we are completely at his disposal. Now here in Romans 9 and 21, the vessel of honor would be the Israelites, and the vessel of dishonor would be Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man. Before Jacob and Esau were even born, the Lord had an ordained purpose for both of them. This is a fearful thing, seeing the narrative of Jacob and Esau play out in the world. Here it is, just some years ago, the Edomites were seen as the most prestigious people on the planet, and the Israelites were looked at as the scum of the earth. But now that the Lord has sent his spirit of truth into the earth, the tables have turned just like that. That just goes to show the power of the Lord and how we are all at his disposal at the end of the day. This is Psalms chapter 37 and 28. "For the Lord Yahweh loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off." So another reason to fear the Lord. He loves judgment. When people read accounts in the Bible like the flood or how the Lord destroyed the Egyptians, they begin to think that the Lord is kind of cruel. But here the Lord said it himself, that he loves judgment. Now the Lord is not a false balance. Of course he has mercy, but it is not to be taken as weakness. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 1 and verse 20. It says, "The root of wisdom is to fear the Lord, and the branches thereof are long life. The fear of the Lord driveth away sins, and where it is present, it turneth away wrath." So having the fear of the Lord makes you get right, and that couldn't be more true. When you are genuinely and utterly terrified at what the Lord could do to you, it makes you want to get right. Even me personally, One of the main reasons why I'm in this truth is because I am terrified of the Lord. Once it really registered in my mind what the Lord is going to do here in the future, it terrified me. And it still does to an extent now. Because here in the future, society is going to be turned into a free-for-all. If you do not have the Spirit of the Lord with you, you will die. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 12 and 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? So to have the fear of the Lord, it's ultimately a gift, and it should be cherished. If the Lord has put you in different situations in life to make you realize that he could really mess you up, it's probably because he's dealing with you and he wants you to fear him. As for these other people just walking around willy-nilly, the Lord is not dealing with them. This is the book of Hebrews chapter 11 and 7. By faith Noah, being warned of Yahweh of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he commended the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. So here it's speaking of Noah and how the fear of the Lord is what moved him to prepare the ark. This ark would eventually save him and his household. The Lord put a spirit on Noah to know that the flood was coming, and that terrified him as it should have. Here in 2025, the Lord's hopeful elect stand in the lot of Noah. The Lord has already opened our eyes to what's about to happen in the future, such as the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, or America being destroyed, or the so-called white man Esau Edom coming down with great wrath on the Israelites. The Lord has warned us of all of these things. That's why now we are preparing this spiritual ark. This is the book of Ephesians chapter 5 and 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. So this is what the elect would be doing, redeeming the time. We are essentially using this grace period to build up our faith by praying or studying or fellowshipping, just being involved in the truth. Because as it says here in verse 17, we have to know what the will of the Lord is. Most people on the earth, particularly in America, don't know what the will of the Lord is. A lot of people's prayer is for their life on this side to prosper. But anyone who knows what the will of the Lord is would be praying for the Lord to come back and destroy this place as soon as possible, so that the kingdom of heaven could be set up on the earth. This is the book of Matthew chapter 10 and 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Now this is Yahushua himself speaking, letting you know to fear the Lord and not man. As Israelites living here in America, we have every reason in the world to fear the so-called white man, given that he runs everything, but we shouldn't, because the Lord controls him. Sure, Esau could grab us up and have us thrown in prison, but the Lord controls your soul. He decides what your state of life will be when you reincarnate back into the earth. You could either live in a lofty position likened unto heaven, or a low position likened unto hell. Nevertheless, all the reason to fear the Lord. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? So the day of the Lord's return will come as a thief in the night. We won't expect it. That's why you have to try your best to be on point 24/7. The best motivator for trying to be on point 24/7 is the fear of the Lord. But with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, this video was edifying and straight to the point. I'm going to end it by giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Quadash. Once again, double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalawam.